Good morning, this is Tony Cherniawski, manager of the Practical Investor LLC. Today is March the 18th, 2010. The topic for the day is At the Crest of the Broadening Top. This video is meant for instruction and entertainment purposes only. This is not a solicitation to buy or sell any security. A purchase or sale of a security may result in a loss of principal. Please consult with an expert advisor who may explain the risks of any investment you may consider. You cannot invest directly in an index. Well, good morning, and what I'd like to do is bring you up to date. As I've promised in the past, I would try to make comments at very important pivotal points in the market, and I believe we are at one right now. So without further ado, let me just go by way of explanation and the charts. Let's just do it right now. The first thing I'd like to show you is the outline of a broadening top. This is not Elliott wave. These are just simply the pivot points 1 through 5 on a broadening formation. This is a pretty rare formation. John Murphy calls this not only rare, but it is something that belongs to a very emotional and a topping market. So just to let you know that this feeling that you might have that the market will go on forever is basically probably an emotional reaction to what's going on. The broadening top is the perfect example of how the market can lead the emotional experiences for a lot of investors. So most people are all in right now, and I'll just make that comment, and yet this is where things start to get dicey. So let's just move right along to the Dow Industrials, and you can see not only do we have a single broadening top, we have a double. I've reported on the parent fractal in the past, and I've said that there were potential child fractals developing. This is the final fractal that I believe gives us the last hurrah before the market tanks. And you can see we're nearing 0.5 right now. It can go a little ways further, but at the same time, let me just point out that the Dow Industrials have made a very important pivot point right here themselves. And so I believe they're at 1.68% of their low last March. That in itself could be an indication that the market is done going up. Moving along, I'd like to go next to the the NASDAQ 100, and we can see just a little bit of a different formula here, but still nonetheless we can see two broadening formations, and I just want to point out that these broadening formations, although they're different, they carry the same message, and that is once the reversal comes, we can see a very substantial decline. Moving along to the Standard & Poor's, again, a very similar type of pattern. This is more of what we call an orthodox broadening top. You can read about this in Edwards and McGee, Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets, and there are other books about this as well. For example, John Murphy's Technical Analysis of the Futures Markets also contains this pattern. So I would like to let you know that we're just looking at a pattern that is endemic across the board. The final one I'd like to show you is the Russell 2000. Every pattern is a little different. You can see this by observing just the way I've outlined them. Every pattern is a little different, and yet they're all within the same overarching pattern, and that is a broadening formation that signifies that a top may be at hand. And the climax of the broadening formation is 0.5, so you can see that we're very close. We're approaching 0.5 now. The interesting thing is that we do not have to cross or hit 0.5 in this pattern. We can simply, any time that 0.5 emerges above 0.3 on this pattern, we have the possibility of completion. So I want to point this out. I'm not going to get into much more detail here. Again, if we go back, let's just go back a minute to the broadening top. What this tells us is that from 0.5 we're going all the way back down to below 0.4. So let's go back to the Dow for a minute, and 0.4 is 9,875. So what we're looking at here is very likely that 0.6, if you will, is going to go probably well below 9,800. Usually it surpasses it by several percentage points. So right now the 0.4 is 9,835, so if we took a 5% decline from that, what we'd have is a target of about 9,300 roughly on the Dow. So anywhere around 9,300 and 9,250 might be an appropriate area for 0.6 to come into play. So I just want to bring this to you as a warning. These patterns have a potential for failure, but once we've exceeded, once we've declined below the lower trend line, and I'm talking about the child fractal, the smaller fractal, which is at about 9,800 right now, or a little bit higher, probably 9,850. Once we go below that, the chances of failure at that point drop to less than 5%. So right now we're in the proposed stages of a final climax, and what we should see in the next few days is a reversal down to somewhere in the range of 9,250 to 9,350 on the Dow. That's pretty much it for now. I'll be following this in my daily newsletter to my subscribers, and I'd like to invite you to check in on that by emailing me at tonyc@thepracticalinvestor.com, or you can go to my website, www.thepracticalinvestor, and there is a place in the heading there to contact us and request a free newsletter. So I'll give you a free sample of my latest newsletter and instructions on how to subscribe. I'd like very much to let you know that we're following this in great detail. There's last night's newsletter was especially revealing because we hit some Fibonacci points on the all of the markets, surprisingly, on a single day, that lead me to believe that we have crested, and we're within days of seeing a substantial reversal. So again, my website, www.thepracticalinvestor.com. Contact me by email at tonyc@thepracticalinvestor.com. I wish you all a very happy spring, happy St. Patrick's Day, a day late, and hope to hear from you soon. Thanks very much, and do the right thing.